Imagine a place where reality feels different, a group whose beliefs and practices seem to defy logic, a hidden society with ideas so strange, so secret, that most of the world barely knows they exist. What if I told you that in 2024, there's a cult operating quietly under the radar, a group so bizarre, so mysterious that even experts can't quite explain why they're still around? Today, we're diving into the story of the strangest cult that still exists today. But be warned, this journey is not for the faint-hearted. Our journey begins far from the bustling cities, in a place you'd never expect. This isn't some Hollywood horror story or the relic of an ancient past. This cult exists in our world right now, hidden from view, recruiting in the shadows, quietly thriving. We've all heard about infamous cults from the past. Some have made global headlines, while others have shocked the world with their beliefs. But this cult is different. It has managed to stay largely unknown, remaining in the shadows, away from the eyes of the media, evading authorities and even investigators. So who are they? What could compel people to dedicate their lives to a cause that's so secretive, so isolated, that most of us have never even heard of it? This cult, known by a handful as the Eternal Seekers, believes in something that stretches beyond reality. They claim that our world is only a thin veil over another hidden reality, a dimension filled with powerful, unseen forces. According to them, only they can access this hidden realm. Only they have the knowledge to communicate with what lies beyond. Their teachings speak of the Watchers, ancient beings who control the universe from the shadows. They believe that everything we experience is part of a grand design laid out by these Watchers, and only through certain rituals can they glimpse behind the veil. At the core of their beliefs is a dark, fascinating idea that life as we know it is nothing but a thin layer covering a deeper reality. They believe we're surrounded by entities, powerful beings who hold the answers to life's greatest mysteries. And they're convinced that through their practices, they can speak to these beings, seek guidance, and even influence our world. Their teachings are almost impossible to understand for an outsider. Members use cryptic phrases, referencing the Watchers and the path to awakening. They claim that only those who have gone through a process called the purification can grasp the full meaning of their beliefs. What is this purification, you ask? Few outsiders have ever seen it, but those who have described it as an intense, life-altering experience. Here's where things get even stranger. Unlike other cults, the Eternal Seekers don't actively recruit large numbers of people. Instead, they're selective. They look for specific traits in potential members: intelligence, curiosity, a sense of alienation, and most importantly, a dissatisfaction with modern life. Their approach is subtle. They often engage people who seem lost or disillusioned. Their pitch? That modern society is a distraction, an illusion meant to keep us from discovering the truth. They claim to offer an alternative, a path that leads to enlightenment, but only if you're willing to give up everything and follow them into the unknown. For some, this promise of answers, of finally understanding life's biggest mysteries, is impossible to resist. And just like that, they're drawn into a world where reality itself feels different. But it's not just their beliefs that set them apart. The Eternal Seekers have rituals that would make anyone uncomfortable. These aren't typical ceremonies with hymns and prayers. Their rituals are intense, unsettling, and above all, secretive. During the awakening ceremony, members gather in isolated locations, often in the dead of night. They chant phrases in a forgotten language believed to be the tongue of the Watchers. The ceremony requires complete silence and can last for hours. Some rituals involve staring into mirrors until they claim they see visions, while others require bloodletting, symbolic offerings, or chants that seem to open something. One former member described the ritual as the most terrifying experience of their life, saying they felt a presence, something watching them from beyond the darkness. Leaving the eternal seekers is easier said than done. Those who've tried describe feeling trapped, both physically and psychologically. The cult instills a deep fear of the outside world, convincing members that once they've seen the truth, leaving it behind is impossible. Some former members even report experiencing strange occurrences after they left, nightmares, shadowy figures, and a sense of being followed. It's as if the cult's influence lingers even when they're miles away. One former member put it like this: "Once you've looked behind the veil, the world will never be the same again." So why, after all these years, does this cult still exist? In a world where most cults fade, why have the Eternal Seekers managed to survive? Some say they've managed to avoid exposure by keeping their numbers small and staying under the radar. Others believe the cult has powerful allies, willing to protect their secrets. But perhaps it's something else entirely. Maybe it's the allure of forbidden knowledge, the draw of the unknown that keeps people coming back. And here's the strangest question of all. What if they're right? What if, behind the illusion of everyday life, there really is another reality? A world of unseen forces, hidden knowledge, and truths that we're not meant to understand.